Alright, so I've been sitting here watching the targeting that's going on, and this white guy shows up. Alright, he shows up and he stands all the way over there doing hand signals, putting his hands behind his head and all that stuff. Then he comes over and he sits down right. See if I can show him. Okay, I'll go this way. There we go. There he is, right there. All right. Comes and he sits down. He puts his hand behind his back as if it's being handcuffed. Then you see the black lady in gray right here. She's wearing a gray. How do you call it? Gray sweater, like long pullover sweater. See, now he gets up, right? See, now he gets up as she walks over, right? And see how they work in tandem with one another. Alright, so you see he's walking back. Okay, and he turns. Alright, now she walks away, the one in the gray sweater. Okay, so, alright, but okay. So now the woman in the gray sweater, now she's walking all the way over there, and she's looking at him, right? So, yeah, they are, I tell you, it's never ending, right? It is never ending with these people. Look. Tell you, man, it never ends, you know. These people want you to be. Oh, look at this guy. He's looking down at his shoes and he's looking at the white guy. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, okay. You know, like I said, he just showed me his phone and then he did this thumb thing. Right? Again, well, if you have whatever you recorded of me that to implicate me in any sort of crime, why don't you, get a warrant and come at my door? But this is not what they do. So you gotta think about what it is that they're telling people, what it is that they're letting them listen to. On top of that, is it really my voice, or is it something that they just created? Because they can manipulate shit in any way or any fashion that they can, and they will do that. Okay? And so you have people, who did, again, and I put something on Facebook. I said that it is this government that enslaved you, this government that Jim Crowed you, this government that infected you, this government that miseducated you, this government that experimented on you, this government that redlined you, right? This government that deny you, yet all of a sudden you think this government is concerned about your safety and your freedom, right? Or something like that. Your safety and your security, right? All of a sudden you think that this government is concerned about that. Particularly, this was a post for black people, right? Then all of a sudden you think that this government, your safety? This is the government that gave black men syphilis. This is the government that gave black men radiation. This is the government that gave black people AIDS, created AIDS, right? See, he walks off, another Jewish lady there. Okay? All right? So, all right. So this is the government that basically condition black men and black women to give each other STDs and to not take it seriously. This is the government that will use doctors to tell you or lie to you about your diagnosis and all this other stuff, right? But yet you somehow feel that this government cares about your safety and your security. Understand the game that's being played, right? They only care about your safety and security when they want to demonize someone who they deem as a threat, when they want to manipulate people, right, to use fear they want to use fear to get you to turn against someone who they have manipulated, right? Who they have brainwashed and mind control, right? Who they have put into an experimentation program, and because they don't want to be held accountable if it is discovered of what it is that they're doing, and the victims, such as myself, come forward, right? Or they try to prevent us from coming forward to expose what it is that they're doing, right? Yeah, all of a sudden now they're concerned about your safety and your security. Isn't that strange, right? But yet, the public cannot think for themselves. They're not critical thinkers. So, it is blind obedience and blind belief and trust in a system that they know they can't trust. So how does that work? How does that work? I need you guys to think critically about this. How does that work? In a system, particularly if you're a black person, in a system or society that don't really give a shit about you, and they've shown it over and over again, right? That don't care. They want to call you black women the welfare queens and all of this stuff, and black people on welfare, when white people get the majority of welfare in this country, right? Well, white people get 65 to 70% of government help, government subsidies, right? And the other groups of people, look at this guy here in the black grabbing his crotch. They're two working together. They in a white in the blue t-shirt and in the black shirt. He just came over here and grabbed his crotch. All right, damn. Yeah, so they're not playing. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right. So let me tell you something, right? Okay, so as I was saying, so they're the ones that created the welfare queen, and they put black women's face, right, and manipulate even black people into believing that black people are the majority recipient of welfare in this country, right? And like I just said, you can go and check the facts. The facts are that white people, particularly white women, white families, and the white corporations are the majority of people who receive government subsidies, and the corporation receive more government subsidies than any group than all groups combined on welfare or social programs, right, including food stamps. Okay, corporations get hundreds of billions of dollars every year in subsidies, right? But yet they have you, black people, demonizing each other for being on government subsidies, when the situation is that the majority of black people in this country are poor and the working poor. And it is meant to be that way. So like I said, all this shit that they're talking about is just a distraction. Because again, when they consider somebody a threat, right? When they consider somebody a threat, this is what they will do. Right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right? This is what they will do. They will get people to demonize. They will demonize you and get people to join in, right? Without understanding what has been done, without understanding the psychological programming that has been done to us as a people, right? But yet, we blame each other. So, I mean, it's a wonder. It's a wonder why they can, get all these individuals to do what they're doing, especially if you're a black person. You know, it's just the way it is, right? So yeah, guys, you have a T-shirt saying "Less Cream Team." All right, yeah, you're a team. Yeah, fuck out of here. You ain't no team. Y'all just a brainwashed dump of a bunch of stupid asses, and that's the truth. Okay. So anyway, like I said, and the one thing that really made me realize a lot of what was happening to me was a book called Mind Control Language Pattern by Dr. Jones, right? And how it talks about how people who have been negatively conditioned, without even knowing it, because the tactics that they use, which is called dark psychology, bypass their conscious state and embed itself into the subconscious, while these people are acting. And this, you can see this with black people, particularly in very depressed areas, and how they behave and how they act, right? But yet, again, this government can give hundreds of billions of dollars to corporations who don't need it, by the way, right? Who don't need it at all, but yet will demonize a small group of people of a particular ethnicity and make them the face of government assistance, right? So if I just pointed out to you various lies, but you guys still want to believe this shit. You guys still, whatever narrative that they want to send you, what have you, right? Without understanding what has been done. And Mind Control Language Pattern by Dr. Jones shows exactly how they can manipulate people, whether it be, and even men use it to manipulate women for sex, learning these types of patterns in order to condition women into being their sex slaves, what have you. And the police does it. You know what I'm saying? Look, he's touching his nose. Look, touching his nose. Okay? Yeah. And why does he do that? You see, this girl come walking out, she's pregnant, right? Pregnant woman. Okay? So let me tell you what that's about. And it's about how they break up your relationship, and then they get someone to impregnate your ex, right? Leave her, right? In order to sever whatever emotional love you may have for that individual. This happened to my brother, who was dating this young lady that she was, very serious about her, and all of a sudden, she wasn't calling him, right? And she broke up with him, saying, oh, because you're not a Christian and such, I need to find me a Christian man and a man who believes in God and all such and such. So he said, okay, fine. Right? 6 months later, she came back. She was pregnant. Saying that, the guy left her and stuff like that. He wasn't ready to be a father and all this other stuff, right? So, again, this is the shit that they play out. Yeah, I know I got it. You hear all the honking? Yeah, I haven't heard honking since I've been here. I mean, I've heard loud noises, I've heard ambulance, I haven't heard honking yet. But because, again, I just exposed what it is that they're doing, yeah, right? So, anyway, like I said, I'm giving you guys the real thing in real time, and what it is that they're doing. And here I said the word real time, and you hear the car honking again, right? So, yeah. So, okay. They're funny. They're funny as shit. So, yeah. Anyway, like I was saying. So, yeah, so that's what happened. So, now all of a sudden, now she wants to come and get back with him. And he was like, well, you think because I'm a TI and you think that they've demonized me and try to get women not to talk to me, that I'm going to take you back? He got a red theme. Here's the red theme. He's looking at the young lady here. Okay. Yeah, see, he got his keys in his hand. Did you hear the keys shake? Right? Okay. So yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna expose everything that they do, because I've studied this program for a very long time. And like I said, my current situation, I'm not ready to try to get involved in enrichment with anyone, any woman, you know, it's hard enough when they have your family targeting you, and it's hard enough when they have the mother of your children targeting you. You know, so to try to talk to a woman and go through the same trauma, because they will condition them, right? They definitely will condition them to target you. So right now I'm just trying to get over whatever feelings, whatever love that was there, and whatever remnant that was there towards the last person I had a relationship with, and trying to detox myself by staying away and and such. Because it's a situation that they try to, and they know, because like I said, for me and Pam broke up like 2 years ago, and I've been there for 2 years taking care of the kids, even when going to school. Look. Yeah, they always got to stop, right? Look at him, yeah. So of course he's gonna come stand up in front of me. Look, of course he's gonna come stand up in front, because that's what they've been doing. Prior to me recording this is what they've been doing. They're coming, they'll stop in front of me just for the sake of it, as he's looking. Right? Okay. Right? So, these white guys, they always gotta, this is what they do. So, hey, it is what it is, man. So like I was saying, just me trying to, from that situation. And, when you're dealing with some people might say, well, you're dealing with malignant narcissistic people, and particularly if they have help from their friends, from law enforcement, to manipulate you in such a way to try to get you to become their servant. Like I said, like my daughter said to me one day, "Daddy, you're a servant." I know she heard that from her mother. And the fact that when Pam would come in the house, she just take off her clothes, drop them on the floor, don't even pick them up, leave her bras and underwear, on the kitchen table, wherever, and then I had to clean it up. And if I don't clean it up, I'll leave it there. She's like, well, you just sitting at home not doing anything. I'm like, I don't live here. You keep telling me all the time we're not in a relationship, but yet you want me to cook, clean, do all that stuff. And then she tried to put it in a way in which she doesnn ask me, but because she does certain things and she know that who I am in terms of me being me and cleaning and doing all that stuff. Like for instance, like I said, she'll call and be like, hey, I put some chicken out in the fridge, you know what I'm saying? Or and then it's like, okay, are you asking me to cook it? She's like, oh, if you want to. I said, listen, if you want me to cook it, just ask. Those type of games. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of games that she plays over and over again. And doing little things like, she's like, if I try to hug her, she's like, oh, no, but then when she wants to come hug me, she come hug me. When she wants to come kiss me, she come kiss me. But it's the other, if it's the other way around, no. So again, dealing with malignant narcissists who want things their way and only their way. And I said, and like I said, that's what I said. I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to be in a sexless relationship with you. I'm not going to be in a relationship with you in which you think that you can, go out on dates with males, with other men. No, that's not going to happen. So like I told her, I said, so you need to find yourself a babysitter, because that's not happening. I said, I don't mind watching the kids if certain things you gotta go take care of, that's fine. But if you want to go out on dates and shit like that, you get a babysitter. And that was my stance, right? And because that was my stance, they're going to try to make it, the opposite, right? So it is. Early on I learned about dark psychology and how they try to put you in the not true, So whatever you think or you want, they try to do the opposite, right? Try to make you think the opposite, or try to make you do the opposite. Because it's like, okay, if you say that, okay, like for me, I'm going to school to get my degree in computer engineering, right? So they're going to do everything that they can to prevent that, to put that in not true category, right? See, this is how they work, right? This is how they work, all right? Particularly if you're a TI and they target you like this, all right? It is to always put you in the negative, whether it be in a negative thought pattern, negative aspect of life, you know. That's it, and they have you thinking negative. And this is not of your own volition or your own doing. This is what they're doing, using what is called dark psychology, as well as using technologies of invisible weapons, which is microwave and radio wave frequency based weapons for mind control, right? And then on top of that, the remote neural monitoring, illegally microchipping you, right, in order to monitor your thoughts, because again, they're trying to say like, oh, well, we're trying to prevent crime. It's just, first of all, I'm not a criminal. I don't commit crimes. Okay, right? When I was a teenager, I got into trouble hanging out with friends and stuff like that, which has taught me, moving forward from leaving high school, not to put your trust in friends, because friends will lead you astray, and to be very careful of who you pick as friends. This is why I've been very selective in terms of who I become friends with and who I talk to, who I don't talk to. And this was before becoming a TI, right? So, you know, but again, this is how we are conditioned as black people, you know. So when I began to understand that, you know, I began to realize that, you know what, I need to stay away from certain people, whether they're black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, what have you, because, you know, unless you are conscious, unless you know what's really going on, and which is very few people, particularly if you're black, very few black people. And I'm gonna tell you, as a black person, I stay away from these Christian fanatics, these religious fanatics, okay, because they are the most brainwashed out of everyone, particularly black Americans, right? Particularly black Americans. They are the most brainwashed. And so understanding this is why we as TIs not also become isolated, because again, they get them to target us, but because of our eyes being open and awakened. Again, come standing up right in front of, you know. Yeah, bro, I know, your foot hurts. Yeah, sorry to see that. But again, you know, they got a lot of crisis actors. You know, not disputing that, but you know, I look at things in both ways. Could or could not be. Right? So anyway. So like I said, so you have to understand and realize what's going on. And the way that you, particularly in America, and what they do is that the way how they demonize you is try to label you, either with having a mental illness, label you as a pedophile, label you as a sexual predator. These are all themes used on black people, particularly black men, right? In order to criminalize and destroy and basically convict you in the public, in the court of public opinion, right? Because it isn't anything that they come and they say, you know, that they can take you to court for, right? This is all being done in the public sphere, and it's been done using psychological programs, right? Coercive Persuasion Program. Okay, now, America has a history of doing this, right? They have a history of doing this. So you see this black woman coming up here, she's looking at her phone, and you get the other one to be walking away. Like I said, whatever you have on your phone, on your cell phone, she's pinching her nose now. Whatever you have on your cell, whatever recording you think you have of me, then take it to the police. Matter of fact, the police are, because the police are the ones that are doing this, right? So why not, you know, put it like this. If I did something to somebody, then don't deny them justice. And don't deny me justice from defending myself against, you know, false accusation. Right? Okay? So again, this is something that they don't want to do because again, the whole purpose of the villainization and all of that stuff is because of the illegal experimentation which involved the illegal implantation of microchips. Okay, that's basically it. You know? And I've said it and I say it again. I did not give my consent, will not, have not, did not, will not ever give my consent to be put into any government-funded psychological program or technological experimental program that I did not give my consent to. And you can't manufacture consent by using psychological means or using technology of unseen weapons, right, to try to manipulate me into giving you consent. It will not happen. Okay, you will not try to put suicidal thoughts into my head like you did in the beginning. That's not going to work, right? You will not try to get me to act in a way that is detrimental to myself or to the people around me. I'm not going to allow you to do that. Okay? That's not going to happen. Right? So yeah. So to see the guy walking down with a cane, there was a woman down there. She started doing the hand behind the head thing. Right? And I'm wondering, is the reason why they gave me the back brace? What is that? Is that so they can feel like, okay, since he's not walking with a cane, it doesn't look bad, right? You know what I'm saying? Because again, remember, they understand that imagery is important. They understand that's why a lot of times, sometimes when you see they arrest black men, they wait till he's looking all scruffy and whatever, what I'm saying, to say, oh look, we got this guy and look at him, his hair's not combed, he don't have a haircut, look at his eyes, it's all red and shit like that, and because they know how to manipulate people's mind and scare them of the big bad black man. This is what they do. People, y'all, seriously, what I'm saying, that y'all need to really wake up and open your eyes. Okay? Right? Okay? And let's talk about how they use people, particularly black men and black women, to divide and conquer. And they do it through various methods, through economics, through biological means, through viral diseases, right? All these things. You think this is coincidence? Right? You think this is coincidence? The crack epidemic, you think that was us? That wasn't us. That was the United States government. Right? The HIV epidemic, you think it's us? No, that was the United States government. And they show you. So what happened when white people get hooked on meth or opioids? What do? They create programs. White people who overdose on meth, guess what? They develop a drug to save their life. When have they ever developed a drug to save black people who overdose on crack? So come on, get the fuck out of here. Like, y'all just can't be that stupid. Y'all can't be that stupid. But I guess I'm gonna have to put my foot in my mouth because, you must be. Right? This is the same government that, because Atlanta have the most black professionals, the most black entrepreneurs, the most wealthy black individuals, right, over the past 20 years, about 20 years, 2 decades, right? They have been in Atlanta. What the HIV epidemic there has increased tenfold, right? Homosexuality, down low men. I've gave you guys documents that shows that they can change a person's sexual preference with these technology wirelessly, right? Using radio wave and microwave frequencies. But y'all don't want to listen. You know, the amount of people in America that have, let's say, that have like other STDs like herpes, right? You know what I'm saying? Within black people, what is it? 1 in 3 or 4 black women have it. 1 in 3 black men have it. You know what I'm saying? It is, these things are being done on purpose. And then you find out that, guess what? Right? That when they want to bypass the brain defenses against foreign toxins or what have you, they will use, they will basically hijack the herpes virus, right? And pair it with another virus or another disease to bypass the brain defenses in order to have that new virus affect the brain, right? Right? It get past the brain defenses. I mean, come on, I've shown you guys the documents. You guys are not even listening, okay? You're not even listening, right? And so you gotta read the book. What's it called? There's a book that talks about the U.S. government biological and chemical weapons program, right? You're talking about like, and even in Michael Bradley's book, The Iceman and he talks about Lyme disease and how Lyme disease was created by the U.S. government, right? And I showed you the documents that in the 1950s they were trying to use insects as biological agents, right? See, this is why whenever I walk by the library, they always looking, because again, the library is full of books, and what is it? Knowledge, right? So the fact that they want you dumb and stupid, they don't want you to even learn about your history, even not just black people, but white people. Learn about what the church had done to Europe for over, 1,000 years. The amount of crime and torture that took place, women burned to the stake, calling them witches because these women practiced the art of medicine, right? These women practice the art of healing. Like, come on now. Come on now, seriously? And then they pit us against each other. These are the people that are in control, right? And even though they are white, they don't give a shit about the lower class white people, right? And they use racism and bigotry as a tool of division, right? But white people are so, brainwashed with this white privilege bullshit that they can't even see how much it would be better to align themselves with black people, right? Because they got you thinking that, there isn't enough to go around, yet corporations receive hundreds of billions of dollars every single year, money they don't need, right? When the bailout happened, and it's sad it should happen under a black president, when the bailout happened, when the financial collapse happened, right, the corporations receive over $1 trillion in federal government aid, and black people and poor people had to suffer, including middle class whites, right? They damn near wiped out the black middle class as a small percentage that it already was. Okay, so come on, man, you guys gotta wake the fuck up, understand what's going on, really and truly understand what's going on. It's like I'm getting tired of saying the same shit over and over again because, but I have to. Because, this is how you make people hear the message, and so that you think critically. Somehow you're hoping that, they eventually listen. And here you go again. They always stopping in front of me. There you go. Because I mentioned that, so now they're going to start doing it all the time now. Right? Okay, so again, there you go. It's a pattern that you see. Again, it's a pattern that you see, and they're enjoying it because I mentioned it, so they're enjoying it. So this is what they're going to do now. Okay, So again, see, this is the childish mentality that these people have. Again, because I want you to understand that, right? Because they think that is bothering me and harassing me. No, yeah, I'm just showing people what it is that they do. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, but like I said, you're hoping that that it will spark something in their mind to say, well, you know what, shit, this person might be right. I need to think more critically. And even if I'm wrong, at least their minds are still open to think critically instead of just following and obeying without even thinking or asking questions. Now remember too, they always use whatever safety reason, right? They'll always use whatever safety reason. They'll try to say public safety, national security. And again, you guys can see the theme that's going on here. You guys can see the the programming, right, and what it is that they do it. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, they can go on with that safety bullshit my ass, because they're the ones that create the hazards, right? And then come in and try to save the day and say like, okay, we come in and try to save the day. Just like they did with 9/11, right? 9/11, 6 months prior, the Bush administration had prior knowledge that there was going to be an attack. And there we go again. See, they always start. See, there you go. Right? So yeah, okay, you guys start to see the pattern, right? So yeah, so like I said, 6 months prior, the Bush administration knew that there was an attack going to happen, and they did nothing. Right? And on top of that, right, when the towers came down, did you know that the gold underneath the World Trade Center vault was missing? You know all that stuff? No, right? Because again, people don't think, and we just take things for face value. These people, don't give a shit about you and I. They run these little games to keep you distracted, right? There's a book called Distracted and Defeated that you guys should read, okay? And understanding what it is that's being done and how they manipulate people. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here, go back home. I am, I just sometimes I just gotta shake my head, because really people mentality is so fucked up, right? They're so conditioned with with bullshit and lies that the truth is hard for them to even think. The truth has become the enemy, and the lies have become the sweet lies, that they love to hear, because it makes them feel good, right? Even in their oppression, even in their misguided sense of being, not really understanding, knowing who they truly are, because they can't. They have no clue. Who they are is a depiction of those that are in power, who they want them to be. Okay?